Hi everyone, this is Reggie D. We're here sitting on the couch having a private conversation, you and me. I'm very happy to talk to you again. This is the first time I am talking to you in 2015. Welcome as ever to my channel. What I want to talk about is introverted feeling today. Yes, of all functions, introverted feeling. A first important point I want to make about introverted feeling is that introverted feelers are emotional and ethical individualists. Extroverted feelers are emotional and ethical collectivists. The introverted feeler's frame of reference, qua emotions and values, is internal. It does not look at the world around him to decide, if that's the right word, on his values or his emotions. Now, as you know, introverted feeling evolves around authenticity. And I think a few things can be said about authenticity. First of all, what does authenticity mean? And I have to credit here Professor Ibarra of the INSEAD Business School here in Europe. And it can at least mean the following three things. First of all, authenticity can mean, and I'm reading here, being true to yourself. Secondly, it can mean maintaining strict coherence between what you feel and what you say or do. Thirdly, it can mean making values-based choices. There's a little problem with that, being true to yourself. Because which self? We have many selves, depending on the different roles we play in life. We evolve and even transform ourselves with experience in new roles. How can you be true to a future self that is still uncertain and unformed? Very good point. Second possible definition of authenticity was maintaining strict coherence between what you feel and what you say or do. And this is typical for the ENFP, the INFP. This consistency between the inside and the outside. Now, being so candid all the time or most of the time involves some risks too. You can undermine your own credibility. So I think it's very important to take into account situational demands as well, and not to feel guilty or fake when not disclosing your inner world entirely. There's degrees of open-heartedness, and if you develop your FI, you need to take that into account. Now, the third definition, making values-based choices. When we move into bigger roles or other roles, values that were shaped by past experiences can lead us astray. We were in a certain context. We, as FI users, we analyzed that context and we developed values in response to that context. A sort of policy we live by given that context. And now that context changes radically. What do we do with those old values? Do we take them with us and are they unchangeable? Or do we adapt to the new situation? A too rigid conception of authenticity can block or slow down the FI user's personal development, because he or she can use authenticity as an excuse not to further evolve, develop. You can say, that doesn't feel like me. I'm not gonna do that thing. It feels fake. So, Now that poses a problem. given that development or evolution by definition implies change. So rather than being too rigidly authentic and thereby limiting development, I think we should be adaptively authentic. That means that to some extent we can and we need to tweak our values based on new incoming information and in order to grow and develop. I'm going to give you a personal example here. When I helped someone in the past, I always felt very guilty for receiving something in return. Even when the beneficiary really wanted to give me something back. And I was like, no, I mean, that's what I call helping. I mean, without any personal interest, just freely help you. And that had great effects later in life as well. Every time I provided a service, even in my job, I felt like it would be inauthentic to even expect to get paid for it. You see, I framed everything that I did of value for somebody else as an act of service, and if an act of service is to be authentic, it has to be without expecting a reward. And I was importing that frame into my job. So I never negotiated salary. I wasn't money hungry at all, because I thought that being helpful and being like money hungry to a reasonable extent were not compatible. So I needed to be critical about my own value, about this particular value. And I needed to reevaluate, and I needed to tweak it so I could benefit from it without taking anything away of the benefit of other people. So that's key. Adaptive authenticity. Make small changes, keep the good stuff, but be open to make positive changes toward in that value system, right? It's a wrap. The sun went down. If you can't stop yourselves, you can always add something in the comments below. I wish you a very good night, and of course a lot of luck with your personal development as well. I hope you got something from this video, and I see you next time with pleasure. Bye.